Hello and welcome to another inclusive driving virtual lesson. On our drive today we're going to look at some traffic lights and particularly turning right and looking at filter arrows. Before we go driving though, let's have a recap of what the traffic light phases are, what those coloured lights mean. So let's look at red. Red is easy. Red means stop. No exceptions, stop. It means stop at the white line or stop behind the car in front, or if it's temporary traffic lights with roadworks, stop at the red sign that says wait here. Even if there is an emergency services vehicle with blue lights and sirens behind you, you must not cross the white line on a red light. The only time you are allowed to cross the white line and go over a red light is if directed by a police officer. Red and amber light together is the next phase. That's a warning to you that green is coming next. So it really means have a check around, check your mirrors, see what's going on. Make sure there's no cyclists or motorcyclists trying to overtake you. Get yourself into gear, get the handbrake ready, but do not proceed until you get a green light. Green means go, but only if it is safe to do so. If other traffic from another direction is still waiting in the middle of the junction trying to finish their manoeuvre, the way is not clear, so you should not go. Only go at a green light when you can actually proceed safely. Following a green light comes an amber light on its own. Now this is one that a lot of people mix up. A lot of people will tell you that amber means get ready to stop. That is incorrect. An amber light means stop, unless to do so would cause an accident. So a couple of examples of that. If you're approaching a traffic light system and the light goes amber, but you check your mirror and there is a car very close behind you, you might consider that it would be unsafe to put your brakes on because of the risk of being shunted into the rear by the car behind. So you could legally proceed on an amber light. Another time is if you are so close to the white stop line when the light goes amber that if you did try and stop, you would end up over the white line and you'd end up blocking the middle of the junction. You'd be in an unsafe place. So those are a couple of examples of when you can proceed on an amber, but otherwise amber means stop. We've also got traffic lights at pedestrian crossings. They generally work the same way. There's one exception, a crossing called a pelican crossing, which is actually becoming a little bit obsolete. They're being phased out. After a green light, you will get a flashing amber light. Now that means if there are pedestrians still crossing the road, you must wait for them. But if they have finished crossing the road and they are safely on the pavement, then you proceed. We've also got filter arrows at traffic lights, and we've got another little video coming up shortly to explain those.
At busy junctions, simple traffic lights may not be sufficient to allow maximum traffic flow. More complex traffic light systems allow vehicles and pedestrians to move through junctions safely, often paving the way to a clear route across the junction. This video demonstrates how these junctions work and how you as a driver should negotiate them. At complex traffic light junctions with multiple lanes, there will often be white arrows painted on the road to indicate which lane leads to which direction. There may also be direction signs, well in advance, to indicate which lane you will need. Without any form of direction control from the traffic lights, vehicles wishing to turn right would have difficulty completing the maneuver because of having to cross the oncoming traffic. This may have a detrimental effect on overall traffic flow. Improved traffic flow can be achieved by using traffic lights and filter arrows. Filter arrows control the movement of vehicles according to the direction they are going, as well as the direction they are coming from. In this example, traffic wanting to go straight on or turn left is stopped, while vehicles wanting to turn right can proceed unhindered. It would also be possible for traffic emerging from other directions to be allowed to turn left without interfering with the right-turning traffic. Traffic lights with filter arrows can be programmed in many combinations of direction and can change their pattern automatically, according to time of day or traffic density. This is a very common traffic light setup that you may encounter at a junction controlled by traffic lights with filter arrows. It features what looks like a normal set of traffic lights but with an arrow stuck on the side. The arrow is called a filter arrow. When a red phase is shown on its own, it means stop. No exceptions. When a green filter arrow is shown, traffic may proceed in the direction of the arrow. This movement is permitted even if a red light is shown. Movement in any other direction is not permitted. In this example, traffic may turn right, even though a red light is showing. The proviso of if the way is clear still stands. Traffic wishing to turn left or going straight on must stop. During this phase, traffic turning right should not meet any conflicting traffic, but you must still proceed with caution. Filter arrows will usually illuminate without the preceding red and amber phase, so be alert. It is quite likely that two opposite directions will be allowed to turn right at the same time, but you only need to follow the lights controlling your stop line. Filter arrows that you will see quite commonly are left, right, and straight on. Arrows pointing diagonally are rare, but may be seen at very complex junctions. Any complex traffic light system may also use prohibitive signs, such as no right turn, no left turn, and no U-turn. An often misunderstood rule is that you may not carry out a U-turn at a right filter arrow, even where there isn't a no U-turn sign. You may turn only in the direction of the arrow. There is often a pedestrian crossing showing a green phase at complex junctions such as this, and carrying out a U-turn would put pedestrians in danger. You may also see a traffic light setup that shows a normal green phase and a green filter arrow. The solid green light indicates that vehicles may proceed in any direction, but also reassures drivers turning right that their path should be clear. However, always proceed with caution. This combination of lights may also have a no U-turn sign. Reading from left to right, this traffic light phase means proceed in any direction, except for U-turns. But traffic turning right has priority. It is even possible to see two stoplights side by side, one for each direction. This is supposed to make things clearer, but you make up your own mind.
Just waiting for the taxi to finish overtaking me, and the blind spot check. I will signal because there's a big white van approaching from the rear. Now here, with hindsight, we'd expect there to be a warning sign of a sharp bend, but there isn't. However, we know that the road must deviate to the left or the right because otherwise we would crash into that green building ahead. So we came off the gas, we slowed down to about 20. At the end of this road, we are turning left. Got warning of trams and electrical cables. Notice also this is a stop junction. The red sign, which is 8-sided, is the only sign of that shape. And even if we can see that the road is clear, we must come to a complete stop. It's specified in the highway code as a "you must" rule, and therefore if you contravene that, you are actually breaking a law. That would obviously lead to a serious fault on a driving test, and you would fail. We're turning right at these traffic lights. We've got 2 sets of traffic lights here, and when they start to go green, you'll notice that they have green arrows instead of just normal green circular lights. If we see a green arrow pointing to the left, it means we can only turn left. If we see a green arrow pointing to the top, it means we can only go straight on. And if we see a green arrow pointing to the right, it means we can only turn right. So at the moment, we have a green arrow pointing upwards, which means traffic going straight on is allowed to go. We are still being held at the red traffic light, and here comes our green. Now there are actually 2 roads on the right here. I don't consider it essential to signal left to specify which one we're going into, because no other direction of traffic is moving at the same time. We're on a 30 limit. I'm setting the speed limiter to 30. That means I can't possibly go over 30 unless I'm going down a really steep hill that makes the car run away with me. And having the speed limiter set means I'm not having to watch the speedo quite as often, and that lets me keep my eyes on the road a lot more. I'm just going to wash the windscreen while there's not much else going on. So this could happen on a driving test as one of the show me questions. The examiner will always precede the question with the words, "When it is safe to do so, show me how you would wash and clean the front window or the rear window." That doesn't mean you have to do it immediately. When it is safe to do so. A red traffic light ahead, I've come off the gas, I will need to use some braking. Going straight on at the next traffic lights. The warning signs ahead. We've got 2 warning signs mounted on the same pole. When that happens, we read them from top to bottom. So the warning sign at the top is going to happen first, and that is the road narrows on both sides. And then we've got a double bend to the left and then to the right. There's a flat bridge for us to go under as well. Now normally with a flat bridge you don't have to worry too much about high vehicles coming through the centre of it, unlike an arched bridge. However, because this one is also on a bend, big lorries coming towards us will have to still take the centre of the road. So we're just watching out for that. It says slow in the road, it says slow again. Just moving slightly to the centre line to give me a better view around the corner. I'm doing just over 20 miles an hour. I'm able to keep on my side of the road quite easily here. Parked cars ahead. The angle of that white van suggests that he's got 2 wheels maybe on the pavement. So that tells me that there's probably a bit more road available to use. And I'm able to continue even though there's traffic coming towards me because the road is wider due to parking on the pavement there. Still in the 30 limit. Car behind me, grey one, is a good distance, no threat. car that's just emerged in front is also no threat. That's a good distance. At the traffic lights coming up, we are going straight ahead, or as the examiner might say, follow the road ahead. Just checking my right mirror before going around this red van. So the crossroads that are controlling or controlled by these traffic lights are a little bit of a strange angle. So as we go across, we will actually need to nudge slightly to the left. Still in a 30 limit. You can see under the white van. Person in there, I can see the person in the wing mirror. So I left more of a gap as I went round. Checking right mirror before going around these parked cars. Nobody coming out of the turning on the right. Van on the right has stopped. Slowing down rapidly because of a car approaching. Right mirror before going round this Vauxhall Corsa. And taking the next road on the left. Black car behind me needs to know what I'm doing. The left signal tells him I'm turning left, but also that I'm slowing down before doing that. Warning sign for dual carriageway and a sign to say turn left ahead. Give way sign, and the sign opposite means you must turn left now. Lorry to the right is indicating to turn, but I'm waiting until I'm certain he is actually doing that. And queuing up here at the traffic lights to turn right. I haven't got a good reason to use the right lane. And I'm not going to go alongside the white van in case he realises he's in the wrong lane. That will give him time to move back to the left without causing me any danger or inconvenience. When you're waiting at traffic lights, keep observant. Keep checking mirrors in case a motorcyclist approaches from behind, or a cyclist maybe in the left mirror, looking out for pedestrians. Looking out for any changes that you need to know about before you start moving again at the green traffic light. Mirror checks either side in case of cyclists or motorcyclists. And the BT open reach van has in fact moved to the left like we predicted. Ahead, second exit at the roundabout. Braking, interesting sign to say new road layout ahead. Sticking to the left of the roundabout, signalling left. And it looks like there's a new one-way system in place to join the waste tip. We're on a 50 road now. I've increased my speed limit to 50. I'm going ahead, second exit at the next roundabout as well. Here's the warning sign for it, reduce speed now. So let's come off the gas slowly. I'm not all the way off it, I'm just gently easing the pressure on the gas pedal. Now I'm braking for the roundabout. I'm taking third gear at the moment because I think I might be able to keep moving. Final check to the right. Left signal to come off, there are people around to see it. Approaching 50 again, but I'm also aware that there's a roundabout, reduce speed now, so we didn't get to 50. I'm turning left at this roundabout, signal on approach, slowing down. It looks relatively quiet. I'm sticking in third gear, I'm changing my mind and slowing down more. Less than 10 miles an hour, so first gear. That was an example of trying to keep moving at a roundabout, but always be prepared to change your mind. Left first exit at the roundabout. This is a sharper bend, so I won't use third gear, I'll use second. All clear, so keep moving. And I shall bring my speed limiter back down to 30. Traffic lights ahead have gone red. I'm off the gas. The hill is going to keep my speed going a little bit, so I will need to use some brake at the end. Car behind me is a good distance. I'm slowing down gently. I'm taking second gear now in the hope that the lights go green. So we didn't actually go below 20 miles an hour, that due to good planning. That's reduced the emissions coming out of the exhaust pipe. It's also saved me a few pence in fuel. Cyclist ahead. I'm going to check my right mirror, move over to the right hand side. I feel happy going through the chicane ahead of the cyclist. Car behind me is slowly catching up. I'm still doing dead on 30. The car has actually backed off a little bit now. We're taking a left turn at the traffic lights. Car behind is a good distance. Using my brakes, not signalling left until I've gone past this side road on the left. Now I'm signalling left for the traffic lights. He's managed to keep it moving at about 10 miles an hour there, so that's another few pence we've saved in fuel. Back to the bridge we came through earlier on. Same technique, we've got a warning sign to say pedestrians may be in the road because of the very narrow footpath. This time when we get to the end of the road we will be turning right at the traffic lights. I've got a van reversing out on the right, also a lorry approaching me. Lorries are obviously much wider than cars, so that might mean that I made a different decision about going around these parked cars on this occasion. Now I've already seen that the traffic light junction at the end of this road, the crossroads, is slightly staggered. It's not, the roads aren't all at 90 degrees. So as we take up a position for turning right at the traffic lights, we've got to be aware not to get in the way of traffic coming from ahead into this road. If you were to keep your steering wheel straight, the way that this junction is laid out, you won't actually end up on the wrong side of the road. Just using a little bit of brake, waiting for this white lorry to pass. Pedestrian on the left, and there's a car in front of me waiting to turn right. I'm not going to go bonkers with the acceleration. I am signalling right now. Take my position a little more to the right. No large vehicles waiting to come out of the turning on the right. Taking first gear, crawl up. Remember to leave tyres and tarmac behind the car in front. I'm just nudging forwards a little more so that I can see the traffic lights for the road going from right to left, because that will give me a little more warning of when my traffic lights are about to change. So as we prepare for a right turn, there are 2 or 3 cars ahead of us which will be maybe coming towards us. So this will be a good demonstration of road positioning. head is turning right, so is the other one. In that case, I will continue. Taking the left lane, no reason to take the right. We're on a 40 limit. I'm increasing my speed limit to 40. Check my right mirror, signal right and overtake this silver car. Straight onto the traffic lights. I'm past the point of no return, so even if they went amber I would now continue. I have got time to brake for the lights ahead though. Now as I accelerate away from here, I will give some acceleration to get ahead of the car on the left. If I can safely move back to the left, I will do. Second gear to fourth gear. Didn't need third gear because we accelerated from 20 to about 40. Going ahead at the traffic light, we've got a pedestrian with a child on the right, so just keeping one eye on them. Lorry parked up on the left is now moving out. It looked like he moved out with his left signal still on. That was an interesting one. No one behind, I can brake for these lights. I'm in the left lane, I don't feel the need to accelerate quite as rapidly as I did for the last set of traffic lights. Gentle acceleration when possible, saves fuel. The same lorry is parked up in the next bus stop. Door for the passenger side is open, so I don't consider him a threat at the moment. Taking a right turn at the next traffic light. Car behind me in lane 2 is a good distance. I'll signal my intentions. Signal off because we've got other opportunities to turn right that we don't want to mislead. Back into a 30 limit, so once I'm sorted with gears and handbrake and that sort of thing, I will adjust the speed limiter back to 30. Positioning for the right turn here is quite straightforward, although the view of traffic coming towards you is not good. So this is quite a tricky right turn. Bus, a few cars and a lorry which will be coming into my road. Just sussing out where these lanes go. It looks like we've got 2 lanes for straight ahead, 1 for right, so I don't have a problem blocking off the traffic in the right turning lane. As you can see, we don't get a good view though of traffic coming towards us. I'm actually looking well round the corner. Blue car jumping the lights. Up to 30 miles an hour, the limit has kicked in, so I can't go any faster. I'm in a good distance for parked cars because it's a nice wide road. Pedestrian in between parked cars on the left. Pedestrian crossing coming up with traffic light controlled. Can't see anybody nearby. Red taxi ahead is a good distance, so no threat. At Traffic lights in the distance, we will turn left. I'm coming off the gas now, totally off the gas. We're going downhill, that's going to keep the speed going. When my foot's not on the gas, I'm not using fuel, I'm not spending money, I'm not pumping nasty chemicals out of the back of the car. Left mirror, left signal, a little bit of brake, and we're still moving at just above 10 miles an hour. That seems a comfortable speed for this left bend. Got a hump bridge with a solid white line on our side of the road in the centre. Means no overtaking, and that's because we can't see what's over the bridge. Now I've reached the 30 limit. I am aware though that as I'm going down a hill the car might try and go slightly over 30, so I am just keeping a slight occasional check on the speedometer. On the left, there's no one in the driving seat. The fact that he's left his hazard warning lights on in that position could be a bit misleading. Did it look originally like he was trying to turn right in front of us? We are turning right at the traffic lights. A fair few cars in front of us. As you get to know different junctions, you'll know the timing of the lights. I'm pretty confident that we won't get through on the first green light, possibly not even on the second green light. As I've pulled up, I've left tyres and tarmac. My road positioning is slightly over to the right, so even though I don't have a signal on yet, I'm still communicating with traffic around me by using road positioning. Even out of the car, body language says a lot about your intentions, and it's often considered more important than the words you say. The right signal's going on now. I'm preparing for the lights to change against me, and I'm genuinely surprised that we did get through. Now I'm taking the left lane here, but I can see parked cars ahead, so I am checking mirrors and moving over. Lots of parked cars ahead, so we'll keep out to the right. In a two-way traffic area. Traffic light controlled pedestrian crossing. Can't see any pedestrians nearby. And traffic lights ahead. We've got two red lights. That tells me that I'll probably need to choose one lane or the other. I want to go straight on, so I'm using the left lane. Taxi in front of me. The orange light doesn't apply to me. That was for the right turning traffic, using a little bit of brake. And I don't mind admitting, I could have judged that a lot better. I could have seen the brake lights of the car in front of the silver car in front of us, two cars in front. It's good to reflect, and if you make a mistake, think about why you made it, what you could do differently next time, and that's what makes a good driver. Straight on at the next lights, I'm guessing left lane. It's got a left arrow. Pedestrian crossing the road, looking for a bus. Pedestrian crossing, nobody nearby. There's a bus in the distance going the same direction as us. That's possibly something that we'll need to consider overtaking in the next few minutes. Parked cars both sides, but the road is wide. Pedestrian crossing, I can't see the pavement on the left side. Now I've got a clear view, there's no one there. Bus coming towards me, going around a parked car. I'm just slowing down a bit with the brakes to create room for him. There's a lorry coming through as well. The road is available to me again now, so slight increase on the gas pedal. Here's the opportunity about overtaking the bus that we talked about. Nobody coming towards me. Straight on at the next two sets of traffic lights. Got a box junction. I know I can get through without stopping. And I couldn't turn left even if I wanted to. No left turn due to roadworks. That's actually foiled my plan somewhat. So we'll go left at the mini roundabout instead. The road to the right is clear, so I'll continue, signal off. And I'll take a left first exit at the roundabout, so I'll keep to the left. This is controlled by traffic lights, which are currently red. Pulling up with tyres and tarmac, the signal's popped off, so on it goes again. Couple of road signs to look at. The road we're turning into is a 50, so I'll get my speed limiter set to 50. It's also a clear way, no stopping. That's the red and blue sign, red circle, blue background with a red cross. The way I remember that sign is that double red lines painted on the road mean no stopping. So a double red line, even if it's in the shape of a cross on a road sign, also means no stopping. We're going ahead, first exit at this roundabout. The road's got a straight arrow in it. I know I'm in the correct lane. Slowing down, I'm going to try third gear, but be prepared to change my mind. Speed towards 50. The big truck ahead we'll maybe consider overtaking, although we're now at 50 and the truck appears to be doing about the same speed. Roundabout ahead, we're going ahead first exit. This lane again has a straight arrow painted in it. Could consider using the right lane to get past the lorry. There's a couple of other cars also overtaking me, and I'm slowing due to traffic on the right, keeping it moving at just 1 or 2 miles an hour. Follow the signs for Wolverhampton, A454. Now we've chosen the correct lane. It says W ton in the road. The road sign to the right says Wolverhampton. Can't quite get to 50 because the car in front is only doing about 45. Warning sign for sharp bend. Lorry behind me is a good distance. I'm using my brakes to come down to about 20. Leaning to the right just to get a slightly better view around the corner. Staying in my lane. We're going to stay to the left because we want to come off this dual carriageway at the next junction and turn left at the roundabout. This lane splits into two. I'm turning left, so I'll keep to the left. Signal my intentions. The left signal is really for people in the first exit, so that they know I'm not going to be driving past them and they can emerge if they so wish. We're going to be taking a right at the traffic lights in the distance, and I've come along this road just to show you that sometimes the road positioning for turning right is what we call driver side to driver side, or offside to offside it's sometimes called. Personally, I don't like the term offside and near side. And as the traffic lights have changed, that will give us a chance to have a chat about the road layout here. Do you see that the road to the left is nearer than the road to the right? So if I took up the usual passenger side to passenger side road position, it would make it difficult for us to go into the right turn. It would make it difficult for traffic ahead who wanted to turn into the road. So we'll probably take up a driver side to driver side position, which will go a little bit deeper into the junction before hooking the steering wheel slightly to the right. Quick check either side, no cyclists, no motorcyclists. So here's my deeper road positioning. Parked car on the left, it's a wide road, no problem. The car that's emerged in front is a good distance, nobody behind. Bringing my speed limiter back to 30. Pedestrian on the left, car trying to emerge from the road on the left. I'm watching the front wheels to see if they turn. That's one of the easiest ways to tell if a car is moving, by looking at the wheels. Car with the boot open, I'm expecting a pedestrian or two around there. A couple of pedestrians on the right. Person on a mobility scooter, is he going to stay on the pavement? It looks like he is. He would be aiming for a drop curb if he wanted to cross the road, so that was a little clue to me that he was staying on the pavement. Two pedestrians on the right. Got a hatching in the middle of the road. That's providing a protected turning area for people wanting to turn into the side road. Pedestrian crossing ahead. I can't see the pavement to the left at the moment. Just easing off the gas a little. I can see it's clear now. Bus is turning in front of me. Just a little bit of brake to make room. Parked cars on the right, so traffic coming towards us might be stealing some of our side of the road. At the traffic lights ahead, we will be turning left and making use of a filter arrow. We saw those early on in the video by the tram line, where if you're going in the direction the arrow points, you can go. But if you're going in any other direction, then you must stop. Left turn is going to be the left lane. The arrows painted in the road are telling me it's left. I'm just holding back from the car in front. I'm aware there's a drop curb on the left here. I'm just avoiding dropping that. blocking that, sorry. Traffic lights for the left turn have gone green. If there's traffic wanting to go straight on, they may still block up the junction a little. So I'm not in a rush. I don't feel bad about blocking this drop curb because the other car is already blocking it. So I'm not creating a problem. When you are stopped in traffic lights, remember you could have motorcyclists and cyclists filtering on the right or the left. Lights have gone green for all directions. Left signal. Pedestrian in the road, just let him go. Give way sign as well, give way line rather. So even though we had a green filter road to say we could turn left, we've still got to give way. We're on a 40 road, but traffic is quite congested, so I'm sticking to about 30. I know that the road merges ahead, the two lanes squash into one, so at the moment I'm not going to worry about overtaking the bus. He's not signalling to stop. I can't see anybody at the bus stop, so I'm not expecting the bus to stop. Checking my right mirror in case anybody's trying to squeeze past me. Building up more distance because the bus is likely to stop at some point along here. And I can see that the next bus stop wasn't in a lay-by, so we would either have to overtake the bus or wait behind him. So by holding back, we just bought ourselves some more time, reduced the likelihood of needing to come to a complete stop. Reminder sign for 30 miles an hour. Traffic lights ahead, it's a pedestrian crossing. Can't see pavement yet, I can see clearly both sides of it now. No pedestrians. Sign for a bus lane. Check my right mirror and we'll go round the bus. And it's Tuesday today, so the bus lane is a bus lane. Bus lane is in operation, so we'll stay out. Pedestrian crossing is clear. Side roads to the left and the right. Nobody there at the moment. I can see a small blue sign on the left, which is likely to say end of bus lane. Let's start planning the lane change now. Even though we've not reached the end, we can plan it. Left mirror, left signal. Signal off because we're not going into the side road. First gear, can we avoid stopping completely? 5 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour, off we go. Taking a right turn after the pedestrian crossing. Checked mirrors, I've moved my position more to the right. Signal goes on to reinforce my intentions. Slowing, road ahead is clear. Parked cars in the new road. Rear mirror, no one's followed me in. A couple of pedestrians around, so keeping my speed down to about 15. Car approaching. Slowing, taking up a hold back position. Got 2 more vehicles approaching. I'll just hold where I am. Again, my road positioning is telling people I'm not parked, I'm just waiting. The van on the left has his side door open, so I'm expecting a pedestrian around. Back to my own side of the road. The road must bend to the right because there's a building in front of us. A centre line to help me negotiate around there. And we will pull up on the left after the red car. So my stopping position is more than 10 metres away from the side road, so that's legal. I'm not blocking anybody's driveway, we don't have any drop curbs. So in today's lesson, we've looked at traffic lights. We've looked at the different phases, red, red and amber, green, amber, and we've talked about flashing amber lights at pedestrian crossings. We've also looked at filter arrows and also how to deal with a traffic light that is turning amber as you approach. We've looked at turning right and when you might need to take up a different position if it's a staggered junction. I hope today's been useful. Hope to see you again very soon. Have a good day.